At the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Vic who is riding his bicycle through the mountains and returning home. Vic used to design drones that were used by the army. When Vic reaches home, his wife Melinda is sitting on the stairs looking at him. Vic asks her what's wrong, and Melinda replies, "Nothing," then walks upstairs to her room. Vic then goes to the bathroom to take a shower. Vic and Melinda have been married for a few years, and they have a daughter named Trixie who is listening to music on the radio. Melinda doesn't like the song and turns it off. That night, the couple is going to a party, so they call a babysitter to take care of Trixie while they're out. Melinda can't decide what to wear to the party, so she calls Vic to help her choose. She asks him which dress looks best on her, and Vic says black suits her the most. Melinda then asks Vic to help her put on her heels, and he happily does so. She says to him, "You know how much I love you, right?" But Vic looks hurt by her words, and without responding, simply says, "Let's go." At the party, Melinda meets her old friend Joel and starts spending time with him. Meanwhile, after chatting with some of his own friends, Vic looks around for Melinda and finds her in the swimming pool with Joel, laughing and even kissing him. Seeing this, Vic feels hurt, but surprisingly, he doesn't react with shock or anger. Vic's friends notice this and tell him that Melinda and Joel seem to have something going on, and they ask him why he doesn't do anything about it. Vic ignores them. Later, Melinda plays the piano at the party, and seeing her play brings a smile back to Vic's face, even though just moments before she was being intimate with another man. His calm behavior seems strange and unsettling. When Joel and Vic later talk, Joel says, "You're such a good husband. You never interfere in your wife's personal life. It doesn't even seem to bother you what she does or who she's with." Vic replies, "You know my wife had an old boyfriend named Martin, right? You know he disappeared from town?" Joel says, "Yeah, why?" Vic answers, "Because I killed him. Anyone who gets close to my wife, I kill them." Hearing this, Joel becomes terrified and leaves the party immediately. After the party, Melinda asks Vic, "Did you threaten Joel? Why did he suddenly leave the party?" Vic calmly says, "No, not at all. I didn't threaten him." Back at home, we see that their babysitter is still taking care of Trixie. In front of the babysitter, Melinda suddenly takes off her top. Vic quickly explains to the babysitter, "My wife is from Brazil, and she's very open-minded. Don't take it the wrong way." Melinda comments, "America feels so suffocating. People here are too reserved." Later, Vic gives Melinda a body massage and asks her, "Why do you like men who don't seem to have any brains?" Melinda teasingly replies, "Do you like me for my brain or something else?" Then she adds, "I don't choose men for their brains. I choose them for pleasure." After the massage, Melinda tells Vic to go to another room. That's when we learn that the husband and wife sleep in separate bedrooms. From the outside, the life of the Brazilian wife and her American husband looks absolutely perfect, but inside, it's completely shattered. The wife enjoys herself with other men, while the husband deeply loves her and doesn't want to lose her. So instead of leaving her, he threatens her lovers and tries to scare them away. Vic spends most of his time with his daughter Trixie, and the rest of it with his unusual hobby, raising snails. He has built a small snail culture room in his garden where he spends hours at a time. Their daughter Trixie is very intelligent. For her school project, she is building a robot that demonstrates a redox reaction. She's so smart that she can sense the conflict between her parents. One day when Vic drops Trixie off at school, her teacher Kelly, who's also Vic's good friend, tells him, "I heard rumors that you're a murderer. Joel has been spreading around town that you killed Melinda's ex-boyfriend, Martin." Vic replies, "I was just joking." Kelly says, "Joke or not, your idea worked. Joel's so scared now, he won't come anywhere near your house." Later, Vic's friends hear the same rumor, but he tells them, "I didn't kill anyone. I was just having fun with Joel." He even tries to explain this to Melinda, but she yells at him, saying, "You scared my friend away from the party. And honestly, I think you really did kill Martin." Melinda insists that they should invite Joel over for dinner to apologize. During the dinner, Melinda asks Vic to go to Trixie's room and tell her a bedtime story. Vic knows that Melinda wants to spend time alone with Joel, but he still goes to his daughter's room. As he tells her a story, Trixie asks, "Dad, why does Mom act so weird with other men? I don't like Joel at all. I just want to see you and Mom together. I don't like her with anyone else." Vic gently replies, "I know, sweetheart. Don't worry. Go to sleep." Later that night, Vic sees Joel and Melinda getting intimate in their own house. To make his presence known, Vic walks into the kitchen and deliberately bangs some plates. When Melinda and Joel come out, Vic coldly says to Joel, "I'm not going to apologize to you, but let me tell you something. I killed Martin. I smashed his head with a hammer." Joel is terrified and runs out of the house. The next day, Vic, Melinda, and Trixie go to a party hosted by their friends. There, they meet a writer named Don, who says he writes movie stories and short stories. worries. He asks Vic what he does, and Vic replies, "I'm a software engineer. I make chips used in drone technology." Don says, "Oh, so you're one of those people who helped drop bombs in Afghanistan." Vic calmly answers, "Why only bombs? The same technology can also deliver food to a hungry person's home." Don retorts, "Maybe it can, but no one actually delivers food, only bombs." This subtle argument creates tension between the two men. When Don realizes he's losing the debate, he sneers, "I've also heard that you killed Martin." Vic replies, "That was just a joke. Why are you taking it so seriously?" At the party, Vic dances with his close friend Kelly, who is also Trixie's teacher. Seeing this, Melinda becomes extremely jealous, and on their way home, she suddenly starts flirting with Vic. That night, the couple becomes passionately intimate again. A few days later, Vic learns that Melinda has started taking piano lessons, and her piano teacher, Charlie, has now become her new boyfriend. Vic still spends his time in the garden with his snails, but in his imagination, he now keeps seeing his wife and Charlie together, romantically involved. Melinda hasn't come home tonight, and because of that, Vic can't sleep the entire night, lost in his thoughts. The next morning, when Melinda finally comes back home, Vic asks her where she was. Melinda bluntly tells him that she was with Charlie, spending quality time with him. Vic already suspected this, but still, he's stunned by how openly she admits it. Melinda is so blunt and cruel that she starts telling her husband things about Charlie that no husband could bear to hear. She says things like, "Do you want me to tell you how he made me feel? Where he left marks on my body. Do you really want to know, Vic?" Vic, deeply hurt, says, "We have a daughter. We're a family. Can't you think about that?" But Melinda coldly replies, "That was your choice, to have a family and a child, not mine." It becomes clear that Melinda wanted an open relationship while Vic wanted a stable family life. The decision to settle down and have a child was his, not hers, and now she can't adjust to that life. Vic, however, still wants to keep the family together under one roof, but Melinda's reckless behavior has completely destroyed that dream. Now their marriage is in deep water. Their emotions, their relationship, their trust, everything is drowning in it. Vic silently decides that this can't go on any longer. That evening, they attend a party at a friend's house. Everyone is enjoying themselves, including Charlie, Melinda's piano teacher and boyfriend. Seeing him there makes Melinda light up with joy, but Vic becomes visibly upset. At Melinda's request, Charlie sits at the piano and plays beautifully, which she enjoys immensely. As night falls, Vic starts looking for Melinda and goes upstairs. He finds Melinda and Charlie enjoying each other's company intimately, and soon they both move outside to the swimming pool, laughing and flirting. Watching his wife with another man in front of his eyes pushes Vic to the edge. At that moment, he forms a dark plan in his mind, a plan that will end terribly for Charlie. A little later, it begins to rain, and everyone slowly moves inside. When everyone is inside eating cookies, Vic takes the opportunity. He drowns Charlie in the swimming pool, and then quietly returns indoors, calmly joining the others as if nothing happened. A few minutes later, Melinda starts looking for Charlie. When she steps outside, she sees his lifeless body floating in the pool. She screams, and everyone rushes out to help. They try to revive him, but it's too late. The doctors and police arrive, and the doctor declares him dead. The police investigate, but they don't find any solid evidence, so they rule it as an accidental drowning for now. However, Don, who had seen Vic and Charlie alone near the pool earlier, begins to suspect Vic. Don hires a private investigator to keep an eye on him. One day, Vic catches this investigator following him and Melinda. The man tries to cover up by saying he's a psychotherapist, but Vic figures out the truth. Later, by checking Melinda's bank statements, he discovers that she's been paying Don to fund this investigation. Furious, Vic goes to Don's house and confronts him, shouting, "Who gave you the right to spy on me?" Don's wife, Kelly, tells Don to apologize, but Don arrogantly says, "Why should I apologize? I didn't do anything wrong." After this incident, the tension between Vic and Don grows worse. But for Vic, Don isn't the real problem, his wife is. Melinda has now started seeing another man, Tony, her ex-boyfriend from college, who has recently moved back to the U.S. Seeing them together reignites Vic's jealousy and rage. Meanwhile, Vic's daughter Trixie tells him, "Dad, I know what you did. I know you killed Charlie." Vic quietly replies, "If you know, then keep it between us." After that, Trixie goes to her room, and Vic overhears Melinda talking to her new boyfriend Tony upstairs. He listens quietly as Melinda asks, "So, when are we leaving?" Hearing this, Vic realizes that Melinda is planning to go back to Brazil, and she intends to take Trixie with her. She's planning to settle down there with Tony, leaving Vic behind. The next day, Vic's anger grows even stronger when Tony visits their home at Melinda's invitation. Tony has lunch with her, dances with her, and they laugh together. Watching them, Vic can't take it anymore. The following day, Vic spots Tony leaving a restaurant and offers him a ride, saying, "Melinda found a property nearby and wants me to take a look. Come with me." Tony hesitates but finally agrees. Vic drives roughly and takes him far outside town to a remote hiking site. Tony starts feeling uneasy because of Vic's strange behavior. When they reach the spot, they both get out of the car. As Tony walks ahead, Vic picks up a rock and strikes him on the head, killing him instantly. Tony's body rolls down the slope, stopping by a river at the bottom. Vic goes down, takes Tony's wallet, ties a heavy rock to his body, body with his belt and sinks the corpse into the river. Then, he calmly returns home with his dog. Later, he casually asks Melinda, "I haven't seen Tony around lately. What's going on?" Now, Vic seems peaceful again, eating dinner quietly with his daughter. Melinda suggests, "It's been a while since we went for a picnic at the hiking site. Let's go there this weekend." Vic agrees. At the picnic, Vic shows Melinda a collection of photographs he took of her over the years. Seeing them, Melinda becomes emotional and says, "You're the only one who's still with me despite everything I've done. I truly love you." Just then, Vic notices Trixie walking near the river, so he goes to bring her back. But when he gets there, he's shocked to see Tony's dead body has floated up to the surface, swollen from the water. Realizing someone might discover it, Vic quickly gathers Melinda and Trixie and leaves the area. He intentionally leaves Melinda's scarf behind. In the car, Melinda asks, "My scarf? I think I left it there." Vic replies calmly, "It's fine. I'll go back tomorrow and get it." That night, after returning home, Melinda makes love to Vic, and for the first time in a long while, he feels that maybe she's finally changed. The next morning, Vic leaves early, pretending to go retrieve the scarf. Melinda wakes up later and looks for him. When she checks his snail room, she finds Tony's wallet hidden there, and instantly realizes the truth. Vic killed Tony. Melinda immediately calls Don to tell him. Meanwhile, at the hiking site, Vic is trying to dispose of Tony's body properly when Don suddenly appears and says, "Vic, what are you doing here?" Vic replies, "My wife left her scarf here." Don then holds up the scarf and says, "You mean this one?" But Don has already seen Vic pushing the body into the water, and he panics, running toward his car. Vic jumps on his bike and starts chasing him. Don drives fast, saying to himself, "Looks like I've got another script idea for my next book." He tries to send a message to the police, but due to autocorrect, the message fails and his phone drops. Driving through the rough mountain roads, Don struggles to control the car, but Vic knows these routes well. He takes a shortcut and suddenly appears right in front of Don's car. Startled, Don swerves to avoid hitting him, loses control, and crashes into the river, dying instantly as the car sinks. Back home, Melinda, now crying, starts packing her bags to leave. But Trixie throws the bag into the swimming pool, saying, "I'm not going anywhere. I want you and Dad to stay together." Hearing this, Melinda's heart softens. It seems she's finally changed. A while later, Vic returns home. He asks gently, "What happened?" Melinda quietly says, "Nothing." She already knows everything, that Vic killed Tony, but she chooses to stay silent. She takes Tony's wallet, which she had found in the snail room, and burns it. She finally realizes that no one has ever loved her as deeply as Vic does. Now, she decides to live peacefully with her husband and daughter as a real family. And in this way, though through dark and twisted means, Vic manages to save his marriage, the marriage that was once drowning in deep water. Thus, the movie Deep Water ends.